Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope everybody's doing well, and if you live in the Northeast, enjoying second winter. I'd like to do a book review. I haven't done one in a little while, and this is for Masters of Atlantis by Charles Portis. This is the Library of America edition that contains all of his novels as well as his short stories and essays and journalism. It's a great copy. It's the one that I recommend if you want to read this. It's cheaper to just get this than buying his books individually. And being that he only wrote 5 books, once you read one, you're just going to want to read the rest of them. I'll show off this at the end. But yeah, if you haven't read Portis, he's most famous for, I'll put that there. He's most famous for writing True Grit, which I think probably most of us have heard of at one point or another. It was a John Wayne movie and then a Coen Brothers film. Two great films and just a wonderful book. And that's a dry, deadpan sort of Western. But he's written a number of other books. I've reviewed Norwood on this channel, which is a great, dry, picaresque sort of book. And that's kind of what he writes, is these sort of quirky, picaresque adventures. And he kind of reminds me of a cross between Cormac McCarthy for his handle on the American tone and Kurt Vonnegut, just in his sort of plotless, meandering, wacky, satirical nature. He's an easy read. All of his stuff that I've read so far has been very easy to read. I've read 4 of his 5 books. They're all short, easy reads, but they're not pulpy or anything. They're great American literature. It's just really funny stuff. So Masters of Atlantis is basically about a guy, I won't give too much of the plot away, but a guy named Lamar Jimerson in the early 1900s. He basically gets conned into buying into this like fake religion or sort of club or ideology called Gnomonism, which claims to know the secrets of the lost city of Atlantis, as well as a bunch of other seemingly hidden knowledge and wisdom. And pretty quickly, he takes what is a scam encounter and believes it so much that he grows Gnomonism to great heights. He meets a guy named Sidney Wren, who takes it over to England, and he also meets up with a guy named Austin Popper, who is a con man, hilarious character, and jumps in and out of the book. And the way that this one is told, kind of the picaresque style that Portis is known for again, but this one is told more as like chapters in the history of these characters' lives, or chapters in the history of this Gnomonism sort of religion, if you will. It's kind of a parody of those types of groups of the time. Scientology definitely mixed in there. This is from '85, so it's one of Portis's later works. So there's a lot of time now for him to have pulled to basically parody. And yeah, it's just hilarious as usual. But I think that, and I've seen people say that this is one of his harder books, I'd say. Maybe not harder, but just more complex than his other stuff. Not that his other stuff is necessarily simplistic, because there's a lot going on underneath, the surface level jokes and everything. But this one does have a lot of different characters that come in and out, and a lot of the scenes are just, I wouldn't say that nothing here is unimportant, but a lot of the scenes are just snippets of something that happened, and they're just little short, funny vignettes. So it definitely is a more layered, complex work than his other stuff. And this is the book of his I've read that's read the most like Kurt Vonnegut. Like, this definitely reminds me of Vonnegut stuff, of Cat's Cradle, of course. What is it in Cat's Cradle? Boconism or whatever, that goofy religion. So yeah, so if you want something light and funny and along the lines of Vonnegut, parroting this sort of thing, it's a must read. It's very, very funny. It's probably my third favorite Portis I've read. My favorite has been True Grit, just a masterpiece. And then Norwood, which is hilarious. And then this one, and then Dog of the South, which is very funny, but somewhat similar in style to Norwood. And he has one more book called Gringos, which I look forward to reading, and I'll read the rest. And yeah, I highly recommend him. I mean, Portis is very well respected, of course, as an American author, but he is underrated, especially now. And if you've never read him, I don't think Masters of Atlantis would be the place to start. I would start with True Grit or Norwood, depending on if you want a Western or a funny road novel. But yeah, certainly check him out. He's a treasured author to me. Let me just show you these Library of America editions real quick. what you would get if you bought one of these. I always talk about these guys because book quality has gone down, and my review is basically over. I'm just going to talk about the quality now. But yeah, a funny, great book that I highly, highly recommend. It's a hilarious, great read. This is what they look like with the dust jacket off. Got this cloth binding that's very nice and says Portis Collected Works. The text is not too big, not too small, very, very pretty and readable. And it's acid-free paper. And I probably can't show this off. You also have a, if I can find it, you have one of those cloth ribbon bookmarks, which is really nice. And it probably won't show very well on camera, but the spines are sewn in immaculately. My book's a little banged up. I've had it for a while. I got this used. You can find these used. They're a little pricier than your average trade hardcovers, but sometimes they're not, and sometimes they're cheaper. But you can find these used. Absolutely beautiful stitching, so it lays flat perfectly. They're just a joy to read. The only problem with the Library of America books is that the paper's really thin. It's kind of like Bible paper. It's very high quality, but it is thin. And it's not always thin, like this is like 1,100 pages. Some of their smaller books have, thicker paper, but they do it so that you can have an entire collection of an author in one volume. So you could buy, authors that have a lot of books, buy 3 or 4 volumes, and boom, you have everything. So that's the only downside to them, but they're among, in my opinion, the highest quality and most affordable of publishers now, with the exception of Everyman's Library is a great one. New York Book, what is it? Not New York Book Review. New York Reviews Books. Modern Library. Those are some just great affordable hardcovers if you're like me and really not jazzed with the quality of books. And I'll talk about that in another video. I've been thinking about doing that for a while. Just because so many books that I bought recently, hardcovers, full price, just shitty ass quality. No other way to put it. Just garbage quality. So, but yeah, not to end on a sour note. These are great to have. I have a bunch of other ones, and yeah, check out Portis. I will always talk about him. He's one of my favorite authors. His stuff is so good. If you're in for a laugh, you need a laugh or something to brighten your day, there you go. All right, I'll be back with something else. I'm not quite sure what it will be. Maybe another book, movie, who knows. But I hope everybody's well. If you've read this, let me know. I always love hearing from you. Or let me know what you've been reading lately or anything like that. I also like to hear stuff like that. Everybody take care and have a great day. See you later.